Okay, gonna unbox and I guess do a quick review of this. Um, I'm not a pro reviewer of this type of stuff, FYI. I just like um, buying certain things. I grew up on Transformers, and there's you know, what is it, 40 plus years now? Came in the mid 80s. This was mid 20s, yeah. 2020s that is. Yeah, I mean, they've come a long way and they've really did a nice job of updating some of the G1s, Generation 1 Transformers. And this is one of them. It's Powerglide, part of the Age of the Primes series, I guess. I don't even know why it's considered under this Age of the Primes versus some other ones were like under a studio series. I feel like this could be like studio series type of stuff, right? Something that looks like what's from the G1 cartoons. Maybe not necessarily from a movie, but I guess it's still from the animated show. I'll get right into this. This is not entirely sure what class this is considered. Oh, deluxe. There you go. But I mean, all these Primes characters that they're putting out make sense to be put under the Age of the Primes, but like this, and what else was on Age of the Primes recently? Oh, the Combaticons. Yeah, I don't get it, but whatever. Just glad to have them out. So just unbox this, and we'll get into just checking them out. Okay, here we go. So unbox. That's how it looks like. Pretty cool. Head articulation. Nothing on the wrist because it has to fold down like this way into here later. But he looks pretty. Oh, gotta be careful. I guess it's easy to unlatch here. This is the first time handling this, by the way. This is kind of just straight, straight first impressions and everything too. I like how like a lot of the modern Transformers for the last several years actually has had a good at least like I think it's very good that they have these I guess ankle bends or pivots at least in this direction, and sometimes they can do the toe thing. This one actually goes out a bit, but at least doing this does a great job of at least being able to get a proper like wider stance and maybe get a foot forward and one back a little bit, and get it a little bit more planted and secure. I think that's a great addition to almost all the Transformers that I've seen, and cleans up really nicely in back. It's funny that they include the if you remember the original, for some time, I forget when they started it, they had those little stickers that they put on certain parts of the Transformers, for all of them, and like you just rub it with and the heat reveals like the Autobot or Decepticon symbol, which is funny. Like they already have it, and like it's just like, oh, what are they really? Oh yeah, it's an Autobot for sure. It's got the shows in the back. At least that's what I think this was supposed to be. It's funny that they should even bother to even show it like this. But yeah, those who owned it like I did will definitely remember it. Those things. And yeah, I used to have this character, original one with the Minibot back then, along with Warpath, which is like another like military vehicle, a tank that's also in this kind of maroon or crimson color, which I dig. They did a pretty decent Warpath. I should pick him up, although he might be expensive now because I don't think he's currently in production anymore. It's been out, so used market or something out there might be more than I want to spend, but I'll see. But it seems like they've been, to be honest, sometimes they bring some new stuff out. Sometimes like Hound, like my last video, and I think Shockwave, they changed a couple of things, but it's basically reusing an old mold, and they even brought back Thundercracker, like the previous one, other than the newest one that looks kind of like a mini masterpiece. They brought him back for some like I think it's like a box set or something, and yeah, it's like they're not exactly bringing some new stuff to the table. But anyways, this one's pretty cool. So let me go over some of the features real quick in this mode. I think I'm just looking at the instructions here. Believe this is somehow pop open. Use like a heart inside. Zoom in there. See that? I gotta say, I don't. It's been a while since I watched the show, and I don't remember all these things like that being shown. And then there's this mask that it comes with, this kind of goofy alien mask. I don't remember this, but it's pretty neat how they incorporated this. So what you do is, from what I can tell, is this the front. I guess what would be the Gatling gun. At least it should be for. This is supposed to be like an A10 Warthog. It should be right below the nose, right? But you pull this up. Maybe it's considered an antenna, but I consider it should be basically like the cannon that's right underneath the nose on the A10 Warthog. And what that does is that unlocks the. I mean, the head turns still. It can't really look up or anything, by the way. Just basically left and right, and no head tilts. But what this allows you to do is, am I in the frame? Sorry, mostly looking not through the lens here. And then it turns around to this, and then I think you can lock that down, or you can leave it up. But I think you should bring it back down so it doesn't move, and then it matches with this, and then you can stick this on this face like that. That's kind of cool. I don't remember what this was for, but so there's that. There's that thing in the chest. So we're gonna swing his head back around for the moment. I might have to swing it back anyways when I transform it into a jet, which I have not yet, because this is actually my first time handling this right out of the box. And you're gonna just kind of discover this with me. So what else you can do with this? I guess you can place this on. I'm looking at the picture of the instructions. I guess you can put it on like this for some reason. You put it on his hand, and I don't know what that's supposed to be. Again, maybe there's some reference to a show, but I don't remember it. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to try to transform him now. So let's see. First thing is pop this open and flip the face around. Like that, so we get this part, so we can hide his face, and then I think you're supposed to lock this back down, and then these are kind of straight, and then you want to flip the arms around, looks like this way, right, and then fold the hands in. You snap, so that's secure like that. Look at how many steps this is. I think it shows 20 steps. I'm not counting, so these go up a bit, and then it's supposed to fold up, just like that, I think. They say there's like, from the top view, there's a tab for these. Oh, interesting. I think it's supposed to go, see like that, it's supposed to go in here. How is that supposed to work though? Yeah, you got the arms up, and then I don't see how that's possible. Oh, I guess you got to bring it back just a little bit more, so you'll hear a snap. Sometimes you just don't know what to expect in terms of like the tolerances of how much you can, if you're really supposed to bend it a certain way, like, or you're not, and then you accidentally break it. So then that all fits in together like so. And then we're going to move these. See, what does he have here? These engines need to move. Oh, Okay, like that. Just kind of pull them out, and so these can go up like that. I'm not sure how they lock in. I think it's like this for now, and then these things float out here a little bit, and then they go to the side a bit. Do they go all the way around? I think they go all the way around like this. And then you can pull the feet out a bit more like that. And then it allows the tail wing, I guess, to come out, and then you snap these all together. And you can see there's a bunch of interlocking parts in here. I think that should snap in like that. Then, let's see. Make sure, especially on this tail, you see how this is. This interlocks right there. Something like that. And then 180 degrees. Do I turn this all the way around? What, you're supposed to fold it back in now? Interesting. It's not supposed to stay up. And then, looking at the view here, is this flipped upside down? I think this is supposed to lift up like that. And then, let's see, I fold this, whoops. This should come back to cover this back part here. And then I'm sure this is all kind of, hold on, maybe it's got to go in like at an angle, like in, yeah, there you go, just like that. Now this cleans that up. And then I can pop, I think these engines go up to, they say to push them in, but how can I push them in anymore? It's a little confusing. Am I missing something here? I don't think you can push it in any deeper than that. I'm just going to leave that, and then see, they tell you to move the wings up here. Widen this up a little bit. And then I don't know. It says to do this and then fold them out and then turn them, I guess, so this part goes, it locks into here. And then this should lock into here. Is that right? Does it go underneath? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to lock inside here in a way. Though it feels like it wants to pop out still. Well, I don't think. This is the confusing part, like what they tell you to do with this here. I feel that this should go, whoops. To me, if they want you to, it's kind of weird. They want you to move this up, like, I don't know how you're supposed to flatten this against the body though. It doesn't look right hanging out like this. But And I don't know, I'm not too confident on this. And then I guess the arms just hang like that. Let's take a look at what's here and see if that matches. I guess it's just like that. It's just not too confident in how this is supposed to lock into this area. It feels like something's preventing it from. Given the limitations, it looks okay. I think it could be a little better in this area. Like, I guess you can put the gun right here. I don't think there's anywhere else you can store it, or probably put it on the back. But that looks kind of goofy. To say the plane mode isn't necessarily the best looking. They show it sticking out still, like in here, and that's in instructions. I'm not sure. I guess they want you to leave the engines like this, just based on what I see, but I don't know if I'm digging that too much. Like, is this hanging out for one thing? And there is no landing gears, of course, and that's basically it. So I am still trying to figure out what's going on with this dude's arms here. I can see it's supposed to fit right in here, but I honestly don't see how that can work. It's not really designed well to fit in there that positively. It wants to push itself out. And see, as soon as I work that, it wants to do that on the other side as well. I have to say the plane mode is a slight failure in a couple of regards. This wing, this doesn't, I can't imagine what I'm doing wrong. This basically is the way it's designed. I think it was like this at first, and then I don't know why he told me to move it up. Right, and then it tells me to basically fold up first and then flip it down, but then you're supposed to somehow lock these into this here, as I've been doing, but I'm just trying to show you how frustrating this is, because it's not really holding. Like, you can tell it wants to kind of push the wing back out a bit, and there's no way to really set this in here properly. It should be something like that. I don't know. It's just going to have to sit loosely like this, which is unfortunate. And I don't know. It looks all right. It's not I think the robot mode is definitely the star here. Unfortunately, yeah. This piece of tape from. This doesn't do much. Again, I wouldn't leave this on here, but then what are you going to do with that mat? You can put it on top, or you can probably mount it on the wings. Otherwise, too bad there's no place like on the bottom somewhere. That would have been nice. But I'd probably leave it off if I were to display it, which I'm not, because again, this part sucks. It doesn't really. I gotta look at, like, say, Prime versus Prime. I'm sure he did a review of this, I think somewhat recently too, because he somehow missed this one. And we'll see if he had this issue here, or unless he has some pointers on how to do this better. But I mean, it should be pretty straightforward. Firstly, well, besides the wings not locking in, I feel like the engines should have been towards the back like this more. This way, at least they kind of sit a little closer. I think it's, from what I recall, the A10 engines that are kind of back here and kind of above. It's not really right the way they designed this. One thing is the A10, the wings should be on the bottom, I believe, of the plane, and then the fuselage is on kind of more above the wing level. So this is too high, and these wings, these inlets, you're supposed to see above those wings if they were lower, that they're all in line with each other. That's kind of the issue. And also, I think that the tail should have been higher. Like, it's kind of sitting a bit low, like below here, which it shouldn't be. It should be at least in line, if not above a bit. And these, again, besides here, they should be angled up off of here more. And yeah, it's passable, just barely, as a plane. It just looks kind of a bit long and chunky right here, but I guess robot mode was the priority. So to switch them back, I guess just swing these back into place. These even have a better way of holding. And I guess just pull his arms back out. Nothing fancy about it. As far as his hands, it can be a little bit challenging to pull these fists back out. Since it's pretty, maybe get it. There we go. Use that to grab. And let's see. Why did I forget how to do this? Oh yeah, it comes undone here, and then pull it out, and then I just use the grip on the gun, help pull his fist out, and then turn those around like so. Then we can separate. Let me open this up. I separate. Oh, actually, you gotta pull this back up. And I guess this will lock peg in back here. And let's just unlock his face and bring it back to the front. So make sure it's lined up with this part. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go down, though they tend to want to show it with a bit more of a point to it, like that. So I'll leave it like that. And then these need to fold back out, and we can start to separate this. And these probably fold back down like that. And then this goes to the front. I think we'll actually, since this is the front, I think that, yeah, you gotta rotate the feet back forward. And, oh, and then, yeah, they have to push up into there, and then you can kind of put these down so then they don't fold. Because if you let this down, it folds flat down, which doesn't look right. So you have to push this in. And I'll have the ability to, again, pivot or move like that. And then that will form up the toes. And then see the engines. I just got to collapse down closer to here. There's not much to it, just like that, I think. And I think that's it. So overall, pretty cool figure. He just looks way better in robot form. I'm glad I will keep him in that. And here, fortunately, I wish there was a place to hide his mask somewhere on the back or something. I don't want to just leave it on a gun. It looks kind of lame like that, to be honest. I think I'll have to maybe carefully bag this with the instruction manual, which I do with my all the extra parts that I might have for a particular transformer that has more parts than I can use or have on display. So yeah, we're gonna leave it like that at that. So again, closer look. Yeah, I mean, not bad. This was an impulse buy. I think I was not originally. I was, and then I changed my mind, and I didn't think I was going to actually pick this up. But I saw it, I think at Target not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? It's here. The price is okay. Go for it. And yeah, not bad. I'm glad. Kind of glad I did. All right, thanks for watching. That's it.